The cursor blinked, a malevolent eye on the SoulLink page. A dare. A challenge. A digital confessional. Everyone was spilling their guts, offering up their deepest shames for the fleeting promise of online absolution. My finger trembled above the keyboard. A secret itched at the back of my mind, a dark thought I'd kept locked away for years. It clawed at me, desperate for release. "Just type it," a voice whispered, "not from my mouth. Everyone else is." The words appeared on the screen as if typed by an unseen hand. "I killed my brother." My heart hammered against my ribs. I hadn't, of course. Not really. It was a childhood fantasy, a dark flicker of resentment after he'd broken my favorite toy. But seeing it there, stark and black against the white screen, made it feel real, tangible. My stomach churned. I hit post. The screen went white. Then a single line of text materialized. "Your soul is mine now." Sarah, ever the optimist, tossed her phone onto my bed. "See? No big deal." Her SoulLink confession. A slightly embarrassing crush on Mr. Henderson, our overly tanned English teacher, was plastered across her profile. I felt a prickle of unease, a cold dread seeping into the warm afternoon. My own confession, a lie about my brother, felt like a lead weight in my gut. My phone buzzed, a phantom vibration. Nothing there. Sarah, oblivious, was scrolling through the SoulLink feed, a giddy smile on her face. "It's like a collective therapy session," she chirped. "Everyone's so honest, so vulnerable." My phone buzzed again. Still nothing. Then I saw it. In Sarah's latest selfie, a distorted shadow clinging to the edge of the frame. Something not quite human reflected in her bright eyes. A flicker. Gone. "Me? You okay?" Sarah asked, her brow furrowed. "You look pale." I shook my head, the image seared into my mind. "Just a headache." I lied. But I knew. Something wasn't right. Something was coming. The news crackled with static, both literal and metaphorical. Strange stories, whispered at first, now shouted from every screen. Sleepwalkers found miles from their homes, babbling incoherently about broken links and stolen secrets. People claiming their memories were wrong. Details shifting, faces blurring in their recollections. Then Sarah's nightmares began. Screams echoing through the thin walls of our dorm, guttural and choked with a terror I could almost taste. She'd wake up thrashing, eyes wide with a fear that lingered long after the screams subsided. "I can't remember," she'd whisper, clutching my hand, her fingers cold and clammy. "I can't remember what I saw." One morning, she woke up silent. Too silent. She handed me her phone, her face ashen. Her SoulLink confession, the one about Mr. Henderson, was gone. In its place, a single, chilling sentence. "The link is forged." The blood drained from my face. My phone buzzed. A notification. Not empty this time. It simply read, "You're next." My finger hovered over the delete button. The lie about my brother, still glowing on my profile, mocked me. Delete. I willed. Delete. Delete. The phone froze. The screen flickered, my reflected face twisting into a grotesque parody. Eyes widening, lips stretching into a silent scream. I dropped the phone as if it had burned me. It clattered onto the floor, the screen still displaying that distorted image. I picked it up gingerly, the image gone, replaced by my confession. Undeletable. I tried again. The same result. A creeping dread crawled up my spine. Later, walking home, I saw movement, not peripheral vision. A flicker of shadow, just at the edge of sight. I turned my head. Nothing. It happened again a few steps later. And again. Each time, nothing. But the feeling of being watched intensified, prickling my skin like 1,000 insect eyes. I quickened my pace, the streetlights casting long, menacing shadows that seemed to writhe and reach for me. Every car that passed felt like a predator, slowing down, observing, waiting, die. I was being hunted. Sarah vanished, gone, swallowed whole by the digital ether. Her phone, found abandoned on her bed, became a macabre portal. It was open, streaming a live feed of her empty room. the mundane details suddenly imbued with a chilling significance. The flickering fluorescent light, the crumpled poster on the wall, the half-open textbook on her desk, all silent witnesses to her absence. Then, the movement, a figure coalescing in the frame. Not Sarah, something else. It wore her shape, her clothes, but its movements were jerky, unnatural. Its face was obscured by shadow, except for the eyes. Sarah's eyes, but burning with an unholy light. It tilted its head, a grotesque mimicry of her playful mannerisms. Then, it spoke. My secret, the lie about my brother, whispered in a voice that was both Sarah's and something infinitely more ancient, more malevolent. The phone went dead. A cold certainty gripped me, a visceral understanding that whatever had taken Sarah, whatever lurked behind those burning eyes was coming for me. The world was unraveling, thread by thread, pulled apart by the viral tendrils of SoulLink. The whispers, once quiet murmurs, now roared from every screen. Every device, a deafening chorus of stolen secrets and broken promises. People were disappearing, not just from the physical world, but from the digital one too. Their profiles, once vibrant with life, now twisted into grotesque memorials, their posts rewritten into chilling confessions, their photos distorted into monstrous visages. My own memories were fracturing, moments dissolving like smoke, leaving behind a gnawing emptiness. Last night I could have sworn I was at the movies with Sarah, laughing at some stupid rom-com. Now, the memory flickered, uncertain, Sarah's face shifting, blurring. Replaced by that thing with her eyes. I clutched my head, trying to anchor myself to reality. But the line between the digital and the physical had become a smudged, indistinguishable blur. Was I awake, dreaming, or already swallowed whole by the insatiable maw of the internet, my soul dangling by a single fragile hashtag? In a hidden server room bathed in the sickly glow of monitors, I found them, a small band of digital rebels, touched by SoulLink's insidious grasp. They were building a firewall, a digital weapon to sever the connection, to silence the whispers. Hope, fragile but real, flickered in the dim light. Their leader, a pale, intense woman named Anya, explained their plan. A code injected into the heart of the network, designed to disrupt the link, to free us from the digital parasite. We launched the program. For a breathtaking moment, the whispers quieted. The air cleared, the static receded, replaced by a blessed, almost forgotten silence. Anya smiled, a brief flash of triumph in her tired eyes. Then, the server shuddered. The lights flickered violently. On the main monitor, a single word appeared, burning a crimson red against the black screen. No will die. The program crashed. The whispers returned, 1,000-fold, a cacophony of dread that clawed at my sanity. Anya slumped back in her chair, defeat etched on her face. We were lost. It materialized in the corner of my room, coalescing from the shadows like congealing smoke. The figure, Sarah's shape, Sarah's clothes, but twisted, wrong. Its face, still mostly obscured by darkness, was tilted in a grotesque parody of her playful head tilt. The eyes, though, Sarah's eyes, burning with a cold digital fire. Hello, it whispered. The sound a distorted echo of Sarah's laughter, grating against my nerves like fingernails on a chalkboard. We've been expecting you. It spoke my name, a chilling caress that sent shivers down my spine. It reached out, its hand dissolving at the edges, pixels shimmering like malevolent fireflies. The hand reached not for my body, but for my head, for my mind. I felt a tearing sensation, a violation deeper than anything physical. My memories, already fragile, shattered into a million pieces, swirling around me like a digital snowstorm. I opened my mouth to scream, but the sound died in my throat, replaced by a chilling whisper, not my own. My secret, the lie I had typed, the one that had started it all, now ripped from the deepest recesses of my mind and broadcast into the silent room. I killed my brother, sunlight.ish, warm on my face, Too warm. I woke up in my bed, disoriented. The sheets tangled around my legs like a shroud. My phone lay silent on the nightstand. The room was still, the air thick with a residual sense of wrongness. The TV murmured in the background. The morning news anchors chattering about the end of the SoulLink hysteria. A mass delusion, they called it. A collective online nightmare. The world, they assured us, was returning to normal. But my memories, fractured and sharp, refused to be soothed. The whispers, the shadowy figure, the cold dread that had seeped into my bones. They lingered, phantom limbs of a nightmare I couldn't shake. I picked up my phone, my hand trembling. My SoulLink confession was gone, erased. In its place, a new post, stark and unsettling. The link is broken. I didn't remember posting it. I saw her across the street, Sarah.join. She was different, thinner, somehow. Her usual vibrant energy replaced by a listless stillness. She smiled, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. They were vacant, like empty sockets. A chill colder than any digital ghost crawled up my spine. She didn't recognize me. Walked right past, a phantom in the bright afternoon sun. Then, her phone buzzed. I saw the notification flash across the screen, brief but unmistakable. Unlock your soul. My breath hitched. I fumbled for my own phone. A sudden, desperate need to check. To see. What? A new post. One I didn't remember making. A picture of Sarah, her vacant eyes staring directly at me. The caption. The link is reforged.